Ah, hello internet, and welcome back to the story note. I got I was about to introduce the gaming channel. We're not playing games, we're reading books today. Um, I apologize. I went to a job, worked 8 hours, but it's in a place where there's a lot of pool chemicals and stuff around, and I have an allergy to said pool chemical. So, yay. Fun fact about me. Technically, I can't be in pools without getting irritated. But when you have that, it's like chlorine pool equipment, all of it's in the air. And my throat's still a little bit swollen and scratchy. I've been drinking some water. I can't really eat. And I'm currently out of a job now because I have an allergy. So that's fun-ish. Well, not fun, but awful. But I had an interview today, so we're gonna hope that my background check goes good and all that. But today we're gonna be reading I'd Rather Have a Cat Than a Harem, reincarnated into the world of an otome game as a cat living villainess. Our author is Zuzu Kobato, and our artist is Hinano Chano. This is beautiful. This picture is probably my favorite right here of the family and all them. But yeah, we are gonna be reading more of chapter 2. Let me find where we're at though. Okay, I remember this picture. Alright, here's where we are. So I'm just we got to a photo and we were at a cutoff point. Also, I love that the cutoff point is cute little kitty paws, y'all. It's adorable. But yeah, go ahead, grab your tea, your coffee, your hot cocoa, whatever it is you're wanting to read, and we shall read together. And then we'll also probably read another book. Maybe I'll go back to one of the other novels I've read. This is just the one that I've really, really liking. So, yeah. One day, Amy was visiting the Duke's estate to see Tigger. While her mother Isabel and the Duchess were talking, Amy took Tigger with her to walk around the courtyard. "Hey, you!" From the opposite side of the hedge, blossoming with white flowers, appeared a boy who looked to be a little older than Amy, but younger than her brother. At being called out to so unkindly, she involuntarily stepped back to hide behind Tigger. In her past life, when she was in elementary school, Amy had been terribly bullied by a mean boy in her class. On top of that, in this life, she was unaccustomed to interacting with people besides her family, so she had a tendency to be wary of boys her own age. The boy wore well-tailored clothes and fit in with his surroundings very naturally. He must be one of the Duke's sons, Amy realized. From his looks, she guessed he was probably the youngest one. His bright blonde hair glittered, dazzling in the sunlight, and he had the same blue-gray eyes as the Duchess. His self-assured expression made him appear strong-willed and self-indulgent. But there was something more to that. Wait, his face looks like... The opening screen of that cell phone game returned to her mind. This boy's face was very identical to the handsome young man who smiled arrogantly in the second spot from the left. The one Amy had assumed was some sort of aristocrat. Oh my god, it was just as I feared. "You're the one? I heard you were coming in the afternoon." "Pardon, I had arranged to arrive in the morning." The boy interrogated her rudely, but she had given her word that she would visit. She had planned to stay until around midday, which she explained to him, but he raised one of his finely shaped eyebrows like he doubted her. To top it all off, he looked over her chubby body with judgmental eyes and let out a soft snort of laughter. She had no desire to attract this boy's attention, but it felt bad being so obviously snubbed before he even knew her name. "I thought you were just trying to cozy up to my mother, but Tigger too?" I'm sorry to tell you that all your efforts have been in vain. Your face isn't so bad, I suppose, but, well, you should give it up while you're ahead. But I can't give up now. We're already preparing a special room and everything. What? He may not have known it, but Tigger's adoption was already a sure thing. The Duchess was very thorough when it came to her animals, so the proper documents had already been exchanged. And anyway, looks and weight don't matter when you're adopting a cat. She knew this boy was probably a love interest in the game and didn't want to have anything to do with him, but she couldn't give up Tigger either. As if the cat sensed how she was feeling, he looked back at her and gave a small meow, which seemed to say, "It'll be okay. I have to come right out and tell Tigger's coming to live with me." Amy barely had any experience talking to a boy one-on-one. She was so nervous. Her legs were shaking, but she continued, "Duchess Camellia gave me permission, so now you're calling my mother by her name?" "Yes, she said we were too close for those formalities and told me to call her that." "I can't believe it. Are you serious about this, Mother?" He grumbled to himself, face-palming and rolling his eyes at the skies. Such a chubby little... Tigger's bushy tail softly wished against Amy in encouragement. "Right," Amy thought in response. "I won't back down now." But maybe this boy just really likes Tigger and doesn't want to give him away. So I'll need to set his mind at ease and let him know that after I adopt him, I'll take really good care of him and shower him with love and affection. Joining her hands in front of her chest as if in prayer, Amy passionately continued, I know you probably won't believe me, but I think it was love at first sight." "Huh? What are you... It's the first time I felt this way, so there's no way I'll give up." Amy rushed forward, jerking her head to look up into his eyes because of their height difference. She was so desperate to convince him that she and Tigger were meant for each other that she didn't notice they were only inches apart. The boy's face turned bright red, and he started incoherently stammering nonsense. True to her nature, Amy was so nervous that tears were threatening to spill out of her big gold eyes. But even still, she held her gaze, and because her brother had once told her, "If you look away, you lose." Of course, he had been referring to a frightening magical beast, not arguing with aristocrats. The boy was the first one to break his gaze. "Really?" "Yes! Even Duchess Camellia happily told me it was fate." "Fate? We'll treasure each other, we'll always be together, we'll sleep in the same bed, and I'll even help out with bathing." "No way. Bathing? Well, it's still pretty new to me, so I might not be great at it, but I'll give it my best shot." "Well, it's just I heard you can get closer that way." I wonder if that's not actually true, Amy thought when she saw his reaction. He was hiding his lower half of his face with his hand, but Amy could clearly see that his face had turned scarlet down to where his cravat was tied around the base of his neck. It would make sense for his face to turn white, Amy thought distantly. You're that smitten?" "Yes, I am. I really am. I'm so in love that I often dream about it," Amy finished with pink cheeks. She could hear several incoherent starts and stammers from behind the hand shielding the boy's mouth. Okay, we have an image. I feel like this boy right here, I'm not sure if you're able to get my cursor to be caught. Yeah, it should be capturing cursor. Yeah. So this boy right here, I feel like he had an appointment to meet a possible fiance today that was supposed to arrive in the afternoon, but he saw her walking with the cat and just presumed, "Oh, this is the possible fiance," and she's just like, "Oh, you're upset that I'm adopting your cat," and thus, misunderstanding. Common trope in anime. I'm curious as to how he's gonna react once he realizes she's talking about a cat and not him. But also, look at them. They're so cute. She's cute. He's very standard and looking. But I watch and read enough anime. Now he understands my feelings, doesn't he? With a little lingering uneasiness, Amy unconsciously repeated in a soft voice, "It's love. It's love." A small bird chirped in the courtyard where the tension hung so thickly in the air. They could almost hear each other breathing. My name is Alexander Gillis Coverdale. You can call me Alec." "Alec," she repeated, breathing a sigh of relief that his voice was finally capable of speech again. Once she addressed him as she was instructed, Alexander brushed aside his golden bangs and nodded, looking satisfied, his face still tinged with red. His haughty attitude from when they first met was completely gone, and it was as if all the malice had been drawn out from his countenance and voice. As Amy anxiously dissipated and broke out into a smile, Alexander awkwardly looked away again, a blush still lingering around the corner of his eyes. It was then that Amy finally realized that they were so close they were practically touching. Quickly stepping back, a smile escaped her lips in a vain attempt to shield her embarrassment. Um, I'm Amy Northland, she said gently, picking up the hem of her skirt and giving a simple curtsy. So anyway, I hope that explains why I'll be taking Tigger to live with me one day. But I'll bring him back to visit here sometime, so I hope you won't be too... What? Tigger? Asked Alex suddenly. We're getting this misunderstanding cleared up real quick, and I am so happy for it. I thought, wait, as in the daughter of the Earl of Northland? Well, yes. Alexander looked stunned. He was unable to speak. Amy hemmed and hawed, but she didn't know how to respond to that. Suddenly, the Duchess's cheery voice rang out, bringing the delicate silence that hung between them. Amy, dear, you forgot your hat. Oh, Duchess Camellia! Looking back, Amy saw the Duchess holding her hat and heading towards them. Her mother and a few maids were also with her. Amy quickly rushed over to meet him. Oh, Alex, said the Duchess, I told you to stay in your room. Alex made a non-committal noise. Well, that's all right. Have you finished getting acquainted? This is Amy, daughter of Isabel, the Countess of Northland. They're going to be Tigger's new family. So I've heard, he grumbled aloofly. Poor boy saw a girl confess to absolutely loving him and it being love at first sight, and then him finding out, like, oh, she doesn't love me. She loves the cat. She loves the cat. He had, like, little fantasies going off in his head, because, like, y'all think, like, girls are the only ones that, like, do romantic fantasies. No, boys do it, too. My husband is a fact of it. Like, boys have, like, little, like, romance, cute, sweet fantasies, and he's just like, this girl absolutely loves me. I better, like, figure out how I feel. But no. He's just like, she doesn't love me, she loves the cat. The cat. The Duchess chided Alexander with a sigh, then turned back with a smile and put the hat on Amy's head. The Duchess deeply missed her own daughter, who had been married off the year before, so she tended to coddle Amy. Meanwhile, Isabella, who welcomed her shy daughter, interacting with others, looked at the two of them with evident pleasure. Alex, go back in the house. You can't go out today, remember? Now, Amy, we have a little gazebo, so let's go play with Tigger over there. How about some tea, too? She added with a wink, showing Amy the basket one of the maids was carrying. Inside were sweets specially made by the Duke's chef. Ever since Amy had first been served the sweets and had gone a little overboard with praising their unbelievable taste, the kitchen staff seemed to be at the top of their game. She was a little embarrassed at her unchecked conduct, looking back, but she was pleased. She was never one to turn down delicious food. That sounds great, Duchess Camellia. Thanks for the company, Alec. Oh, sure. Amy curtsied once more, turned around, and walked deeper into the courtyard garden. After making sure the three ladies and single cat on the other side of the hedge had disappeared from view, Alexander crouched down and buried his face in his hands. This can't be possible. The entire reason Alexander had come home from the school dormitories today was to attend a former marriage interview with a prospective spouse chosen by his parents. Alec, the youngest son, had an older brother and an older sister. Although he had made it this far without a fiancé, he also knew that, as the son of a duke, he couldn't escape his fate of a political marriage forever. But he had started going to school, and with learning so many things and making so many friends, it was the most fun he ever had in his life. Engagements and marriages just had to wait a little longer. Alec would simply meet the girl and make her object to the engagement. If he used his good looks, put on an arrogant air, and treated her rather rudely, the faint-hearted lady was sure to detest him. The plan wasn't bad, but he had been using it on the wrong person! Hilarious. Hello. You had a test run. Wrong person. And what's more, he didn't particularly think she was all that bad. Ugh. Alexander preferred slender, mature girls, so he was thrown into confusion when he realized he thought Amy, the exact opposite of his type, was cute. Her features were rounded, her cheeks so plump he wanted to pinch them. She looked as cute as a button with her hands clasped in front of her chest. Her skin looked so albastard and soft that he had felt drawn to touch it. He had been struck by her expressive face, her large, teary gold eyes, and her finely shaped lips as she passionately argued about love. As he sat on his haunches and tore out chunks of grass, shiny black leather shoes appeared in the corner of his vision. "Young master, you'll ruin your mother's lawn that way," a voice warned. "Gramps, you were watching, weren't you?" "Well, my eyesight and hearing have gotten quite bad in my old age, you know. But if you were to mistakenly fall in love with the wrong girl, that is something I'd certainly like to see." Hello, Butler! With all your sass. How fucking hilarious. Y'all, also, I know we're like almost 20 minutes in, but I saw a Tumblr post explaining, like, the person who made the quote of "the butler did it" had gotten stabbed by an old chef that they had passed up for promotion for butler. And it was hilarious. And also, most butlers back in old days, they used to be like, they're like the second in command general of like the whole house. Like they're in charge of all the servants, who does what, and all that stuff. So I'm just like, Butler's awesome. What Alec heard was, "Oh, I was definitely watching," which is true. As he felt heat rising up from the crown of his head, Alexander complained to his trusted butler, "I hadn't heard we were supposed to have a guest this morning." "Oh, you hadn't? That young lady has visited a lot recently. She's very charming. Quite popular among the servants." The sight of a chubby girl innocently playing with a huge cat nearly her same size had melted the servants' hearts. Moreover, although she appreciated the differences of their social ranks, Amy's memories of her past life made her more concerned about showing difference toward those older than her. As a result, she was never rude to the servants, and she was always received by them very favorably in turn. The Earl of Northland. Does that mean she's Harlan's little sister? Or Harold's? Harold's. That word is pronounced Harold. Harold, who had been making a name of himself as a dual-blade adventurer, was something of a celebrity at school. Alexander, whose high social rank prevented him from delving into dungeons, secretly admired him. Oh, they're an Earl, they're a Duke. I don't know what, like, the social ranking class is and how far apart that makes them, but she is up to, like, possibly be engaged to a prince, so she's high enough. Alexander, who's... Okay, yeah. Indeed, she's also one of the candidates to become Prince Edward's fiancée. Ed's fiancée? The third prince had been Alexander's friend for as long as he could remember. Always close at hand as both a playmate and a study buddy. Also, I believe, if I recall, I don't quite remember, someone refresh my memory, is the Duchess not a relative of the imperial royal family, of the royal family here? Because I feel like that was mentioned earlier. I don't remember. That was in part 1 of this chapter. Did not read. When Alex stood up, he was at eye level with his elderly butler. It was a strange feeling, realizing he was now the same height as the man he had spent so much of his life looking up to. The butler was a crafty old man, but he was someone he could trust. Alec hadn't heard that Ed had been gathering marriage candidates, but it was probably true since the information came from the butler. Alexander pressed him to explain further with a look. Lady Amy appears reluctant to attend her upcoming initial meeting with Prince Edward. Are you saying she doesn't want to marry him? He scoffed. He may be the third prince, but it'd still make her a princess consort. It seems Lady Amy is more interested in animals than marriage. So she's just a candidate to become his fiance, huh? Oh, you're about to do some fuckboy shit. You're gonna be like, alright, you're cute, I like you, I'm gonna try to woo you. Screw my friend. You're just a candidate, it's fine. He's not gonna be too upset. Honestly, your friend ain't met him yet. Suddenly, Amy's face appeared right beside Edward's in his mind. The girl who had just waltzed off and his childhood friend. Alex felt a strange sensation in his chest, but he wasn't sure if it was a premonition or simply a prediction. Well, I wonder what will come of it. Does the course of your love hinge on it, young master? You watch it, Gramps. Why, it's just the ramblings of an old man. Come now, it's about time for you to prepare for your own candidate for marriage. To meet your own candidate for marriage, young master. Sure, got it. From the other side of the hedge, the Duke's son exhaled a heavy sigh and headed back towards the large house. And then tea time, so chapter 3 is next. So we're gonna end this video here. Come back up here. Alright. So we know this is the mom and the dad. This is the daughter. He was said to have gray eyes, so this is Alec. And hold up. He's on the cover with an owl. Bitch, are you trying to woo a girl with an owl? Are you just here going, hi, let me woo you with pretty animals? And then one of you has got to be the brother. I just don't know which. I don't know. But yeah. Don't forget to tell me, what other kind of like light novels or anything you guys would like me to read out loud. Tell me all the things. I am curious. We're just over here. Moving my stuff around again. But yeah, you all have a lovely day, a lovely time. Remember to stay hydrated. All that good stuff. But yeah. Thank you all for everyone who supports me on Patreon and Ko-fi. If you support me on Ko-fi, no matter the donation, I will give you a quick sketch, for your donation. Patreon, you get to do, like, some fun polls. I'm gonna be doing, like, some background wall art, for desktops as well. If you're interested in seeing my not safe for work artwork, I have an OF. I have an OnlyFans. That's linked in my link tree, which should be in the description. All that good stuff. So yeah, thank you all so much for being here. Have a lovely day. Stay hydrated. I'm probably gonna get up, drink some more water, probably make some tea, and after a while, hopefully be able to eat something. So yeah, bye bye!